All right, so if you're importing goods into Europe, you've probably felt it already. The ground is literally shifting under your feet. All these new regulations, they're flipping the old rules of procurement completely upside down. So in this explainer, we're going to break it all down and get you the clarity you need to handle this new reality. Okay, let's get into it.
You know, this quote from Thomas, it just hits home, doesn't it? He's a European procurement manager, and he's basically saying what so many people are thinking right now. It's that anxiety, that knot in your stomach, that feeling that a massive test is coming, and you're not sure if your supply chain is ready for it.
And that pressure Thomas is feeling, yeah, that's not just in his head. It's real. It's because we're in the middle of a huge shift. I mean, what used to be a pretty simple chat about price and lead time has turned into something way, way deeper. The old playbook? You can pretty much toss that out the window.
So here's the deal. The new reality is that you're not just checking prices anymore. You're basically doing a full audit of a supplier's entire philosophy. You've got two big pieces to this puzzle. First, their carbon footprint, their environmental side, which is all about the new CBAM regulation. And second, their social compliance, how they treat their employees, which is where stuff like the BSCI standard comes in.
So, what's driving this huge change? Well, let's dig into the new rules. And we've got to start with the big one, the one causing all the buzz, the Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, or CBAM. And trust me, getting your head around the what and the why of this is absolutely crucial if you import anything into the EU.
Okay, so the whole point of CBAM is to stop something called carbon leakage, and it's actually a really simple idea. Imagine this. It gets expensive to make stuff in the EU because of carbon taxes, right? So what do companies do? They just pack up and move production somewhere with zero rules. Poof! The emissions are still happening, just somewhere else. CBAM is basically the EU's way of saying, nope, not so fast. It closes that loophole.
And look, don't think for a second this is some tiny niche rule for a few specific products. Nope. This is aimed squarely at the heavy hitters, the most carbon-intensive stuff. So yeah, if you're importing anything made of metal, we're talking garden sheds, storage boxes, enclosures, you name it, this is aimed directly at you. Your products are right in the crosshairs.
So how does this new CBAM thing fit in with what the EU is already doing? Well, for a long time, EU companies had to pay for their pollution through a system called the ETS. Think of CBAM as just extending that same rule to the border. It's a carbon tariff for imports, making sure everyone pays a similar price for carbon. It's all about creating a level playing field. Simple as that. Okay, so what's the timeline? We're actually in the middle of the first phase right now. It's a transitional phase all about reporting data. No money changing hands yet. But the date you need to circle on your calendar in bright red ink is 2026. That's when the financial part kicks in, and you'll have to start buying these CBAM certificates. The clock is absolutely ticking.
Now at this point, you might be thinking, easy. I'll just find a supplier who's got all the right certificates, problem solved. And that's a trap, a huge one. Because a piece of paper on the wall, it doesn't tell you the whole story. It definitely doesn't guarantee your partnership is going to be smooth sailing.
Think about it. The real-world problems, the things that give you actual headaches and keep you up at night. It's not the certificate, right? It's the late deliveries, the phone calls saying, sorry, we're out of raw materials, the terrible communication, the messy paperwork. These are the symptoms of a supplier who just isn't ready for prime time.
This is exactly why you have to dig deeper. You've got to ask some really tough questions that go way beyond a certificate. And question number one is the most basic. Can they actually deliver? I'm not talking about when everything's perfect. I mean, what happens when things go wrong? When there's a labor shortage or a material price spike, is there a plan B? Or does their whole operation just crumble?
All right, next question. Can they customize? I mean, really customize. In today's e-commerce game, you need to be fast, you need to be agile. Is your supplier just a basic factory churning out the same old thing? Or are they a real partner with some serious R&D muscle who can help you innovate and prototype on the fly?
And finally, let's bring it back to the paperwork. Can they truly report? This might be the most important question of all. Forget the promises. Can they actually provide the hard, accurate, timely data you're going to need for those CBAM declarations? Because, yeah, we can probably get that. That's just not going to cut it anymore. Not even close.
Okay, so enough about the problems. Let's talk solutions. What does a great partner, one who can confidently say yes to all of that, actually look like? Well, they're not just a factory. They're an entire operation built from the ground up to be resilient, transparent, and agile.
And you'll find their strength really comes down to 3 key pillars. First, where they are and who they know, a strategic spot with a ton of local suppliers. Second, how they make things, smart and transparent manufacturing. And third, their backup plan, a really solid safeguard system for when things go sideways.
So you see a number like this, over 100 material suppliers. What does that actually mean for you? It's simple. It's security. It's redundancy. It means if one of their suppliers has a problem, a fire, a flood, whatever, it's not your problem. Your production line doesn't just grind to a halt.
And this one? Over 45 in-house R&D specialists. What's the benefit there? Well, that's the difference between an order taker and a true innovation partner. That's the brainpower that's going to help you customize, improve your designs, and ultimately, stay one step ahead of everyone else in your market.
And it all ties together into this awesome 3-level safeguard system. You've got your material backups with plenty of alternates. You've got people on the ground in Europe so you can actually talk to someone in real time. And you've got legal experts to handle all the messy compliance stuff for you. What does that add up to? Total peace of mind.
So, as we start to land this plane, I want you to reframe how you're thinking about all these new rules. Stop seeing them as just a headache. It's just another risk to manage. Instead, see them for what they really are. An opportunity to build a serious strategic advantage.
This right here? This is the most important takeaway. Think of regulations like CBAM and standards like BSCI not as barriers, but as filters. They're designed to filter out the weak, fragile suppliers and let only the truly prepared, professional ones through. It's a tool for you to find the best of the best. So from now on, your new standard for any partner has to be built on these 4 pillars. Yep, compliance is the ticket to the game, but you also need responsiveness, rock-solid delivery, and total transparency. Don't settle for anything less. And that brings us right back to the beginning, to the big, critical question you have to ask yourself. In this brand new world of procurement, take a hard look at your partners, take a hard look at your systems, and be honest. Is your supply chain a powerful asset pushing you forward? Or is it a ticking time bomb, just waiting to become your biggest liability?